What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another new episode Behind the Scene podcast. I'm your host, Dion Donovan at Title Page Comics, creator of the Tales of Florida comic book series. And for this episode, we have a very special edition called Creators Corner. And Creators Corner is to highlight some of the up and coming talent of the indie scene and in the culture. And for tonight, I got a special guest with us. I got a talented creator from the indie comic book scene, Vonnell Young from Millennial Comics. What's going on with you, man?
What's up? What's up, man? Everything is straight. Lovely, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. As good as we can be in 2020 with the year that we're having, man. But it's good to be here and it's good to be among, like-minded people, and it's good to be among talent, man, like yourself.
Definitely, man. I'm loving the presence, bro. Loving the presence.
Word. Now, you got a great comic book series out there called Delta Dogs, and I'm on issue 6 of it, and it's some good stuff, man. I'm really digging the art, really digging the story. Tell us a little bit of the synopsis of your book and the inspiration behind it, bro.
Yeah, man. So it's about seven cousins, man, going through that teenage struggle, that me and you went through as kids, growing up black in America, and now they get superpowers. And you thinking that superpowers is the best thing in the world, but it has the opposite effect on these seven cousins, and it just makes their lives just that much worse. So one of the cousins actually gets them into like a gang war, and they got to deal with a mad scientist, a military group chasing after them, and they got to also get ready for the next test exam. So it's a story, man, that's going for the long run. Of course, we out with 12 issues right now, going strong. 13 issue 13 is coming out soon.
Okay, dope,
It's
dope.
yeah, man, and getting back to that family dynamic, man, because we don't see that too much nowadays. So getting back to that family dynamic of, you going with your cousins or your brother and stuff like that, man, just growing up, in the neighborhood, and it's it's some stuff that just hasn't been explored yet, especially since it's colored. You know what I'm saying? you got
Right,
black, talking.
right.
So yeah, so it hasn't really been explored in the comic book genre, and that's what I'm willing to do for this genre for this series is for Delta Dogs.
That's what's up, man. Because I like that family dynamic, man. There isn't really anything I can. Usually, I kind of try to do like a comparison to something to give someone an idea of what the series is about. But like you said,
Mm.
I can't really recall any comic book with a family dynamic, man, with the cousins and the way they interact with each other. It's just like me hanging out with my cousins and brothers and things like that, man. You really brought that home in this series, dude. And the character designs is dope, and the villains are pretty. The villains go pretty hard in it, man. I gotta say, the gangs, man, they ain't playing in this shit. They ain't playing for real. So it definitely was. That's what's up, man. I'm really loving the series, and I can't wait to see where the story goes. And I wish you further success, man, because for a lot of indie creators, if you come a long way, you have your books and actual shops here in in the Hampton Roads area of Virginia. You got physical printed copies. You can have people ordering online. So you really establish yourself, man, in terms of having some longevity of success. I mean, 13 issues now, and a lot of people are still scrambling together character designs for their stories, dude. So it's a real inspiration, man, to see others get their ideas out there and to do it successfully and to have some passion behind a project and have others really get to enjoy it and see the light of their visions and their ideas, man. That's really what's up, man.
Appreciate that, man.
And to segue into, I guess, another topic when you're talking about repackaging and basically doing renditions of the same thing over and over and over again. When it comes to the big two, I'll be honest with you, I'm not satisfied with. We got a DC Future State coming out, and basically they're doing a black Batman with a black rider. And I'll be honest with you, man, that does not satisfy me. That does not make me feel like it's equal playing field. I feel like there's more power to be had if you put a black rider on the main Batman series instead of just we'll make Black Batman and give it to a black writer, or we'll make Black Wonder Woman, Nubia, right? I mean, I know Nubia is well loved, and then we'll put a black woman to write her series, but she will never touch Diana. Things like that. I feel like it's cool that there's more variety. That's awesome and all, but having our own idea, having our own like IP, having your own hero, like own identity, separate from something that came before it, is I think that's more valuable than just doing spin-offs over and over and over again in different renditions, and then having someone of color of the same color write the story and pass it off saying, look, this is progressive, look, this is amazing, go buy this book, we're giving you what you want. And it's like these are kind of leftovers to a certain degree, you know, like,
Yep.
and I know some people will buy it, some people won't, and I know there's you know there's kind of controversy of whether does it automatically guarantee your dollars. I I I don't think so, man. I don't think that it automatically just because you did Black Batman and a Black Rider, I have to give you my dollar to support it because what you did. What do you think, man, about that? I know it's getting a little bit sketchy territory. What do you think, man?
Oh man, they gonna blackball me, man, if I say my opinion. You sure? Why are you putting me in this position, man? Oh my
Up to you,
God.
man. If you want to go through it, I can always
Uh,
edit. I always cut it. We can chop it to another segment, man. It's cool.
I mean, I just go ahead and say it. It's all good. They if they saying that this so and so series isn't selling, basically all they want to do is put they'll throw man, I really don't want to say this. They'll just throw Black Lives Matter on it, or they'll throw SJW on it
Mm,
to so they can get more sales. And yes, it's showing more attention to those communities, but at the same time, it's handy downs. Like
mm.
instead of it's the right way is a wrong way to support. If you
Yeah.
really want to support them, then give them freedom, give them a job and give them freedom, or support their already established book that they're trying to push out. Help distribute those books. It's a
Hmm.
number of different ways, but again, I feel like I'm being used as a black individual to get a black character like Ironheart. I think that's her name, Ironheart.
Yeah. Riri
Riri Williams.
Williams.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of even calling her Ironheart, she's known as Riri Williams. Most of the people address her as that because Riri Williams they know is a black lady. Instead of when you say Iron Man, you typically don't really say Tony Stark, or people typically don't say Peter Parker. They say Spider Man. So
Right.
as you can see, the branding there that they again they don't have their own identities. So again, I feel like it's kind of not. I ain't even gonna say disrespectful, man, because I don't want to dig myself too deep of a hole. But I feel like I'm kind of offended that again that they get my money instead of putting their heart into it, instead of putting their like, because you can tell once something is authentic or not. You can really tell
Hmm.
if it's authentic or not, and they don't have that. And I
Yeah.
notice, I can see that they're just again coloring it black and then making it sell.
Hmm.
I want that authenticness where it's like, okay, man, like I remember that. Like as a kid, man, I know that. I don't want to just keep like, oh, man, I don't want to. Nah, I can't even say that. Dang, I ain't even gonna say that, man.
Okay, okay, yeah.
Dang,
Do a
yeah, I'm about
U-turn.
to
Do a
say.
U-turn real quick.
All
Yep.
right, all right,
Do
all
the
right, all
skirt.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
all right. Gotcha. But you know what? I'll say this. I'll say this.
Okay, go
Um,
ahead. Go ahead.
kind of allude to it, but all right. So Tenant, right? Tenant is his own thing. Even though people want to kind of compare it to 007, even though they're trying to make 007 a black person or a female to kind of
Yep.
switch up things, but again, it's different. It's a spy movie. Tenant is about a spy movie, and it's a black lead character. But the thing is, they don't they don't lean on because he's black. They don't just keep talking about slavery or all this other stuff that about history and stuff like that. They just he's a good character. He's happily to be black. I
Right. The
love
protagonist was the
that movie.
truth, man. Yeah, I
Yeah,
love the
like
protagonist,
Tenant.
man.
Yeah, the protagonist exactly. So
Yeah.
again, he's happy to be black, but he's telling a good story that surrounds his character. And I love that movie. Some people don't. Some people think it's confusion. They can't hear some of the dialogue. Look, I heard all the dialogue. I knew exactly what was going on halfway when something clicked for me halfway through the movie, and I finally got everything for the whole movie. And I just loved it. And the thing is, that again, he was just happily to be black. So stuff like that, is his own character. I never heard about it before. It's something never done in film before. And the stuff he was doing, I can relate to it. I was just like, man, I love this film. I love what they did. It felt authentic. But I turn around and I get the comics, and it's like something like that would never prosper.
You get something like DC, the other side of history, with Black Lightning saying, "Woe is me, I'm a black man, and I'm these other superheroes are better because they're white, and I'm black, and I'm struggling, and I'm trying to clean these streets, and woe is me." Like, dude,
They
yeah,
lean on
I'm
it
gonna
too
get
much.
some
Like it's
shots. I'm gonna get some heat for that, but I'll take it. Screw it. I don't mind. Whatever. That's how I felt about it, man.
I mean, yeah, exactly. So, I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I love hearing those type of stories, but at the same time, they lean too much on that type of story, where it's like it's hurting the story in
Yeah,
general. So if
when
they
it's the
did
only
it,
story you tell, then it's just
yeah,
redundant. Yeah, go ahead, man. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So, like, all right, say, like, I actually like the premise from for Black Lightning. You have this school teacher that's in the community, that's like way deep into the community, and he's trying to like fight between like saving it this way as a principal and then saving it another way as a superhero. I
Hmm.
love that. But they dig deep. They don't focus on that type of dynamic or the story wise. They just say like, look, they get to the police brutality and they just handle it the wrong way. Like where you can just feel it, man. You can just feel like it's kind of being forced. Just going off of that example in general, that's how they treat the rest of everything else, where they just have to keep bringing it up, where it's like it's keep forcing it into our face that this happened, like slavery, or the white guy is always the bad guy. Like man, like we need something new.
Yeah.
We just need something fresh, something that doesn't lean on that. Like that's not like yes, it's there. Of course, it's always going to be there.
Right.
And hopefully we get to a better day where it doesn't need to be there, but it's going to be there. But at the same time, that's not what the story is about. Where like I would have been fine with Black Lightning talking about him like seeing like what the teens going through. With the teens of let me see how do I explain this. I would love to see like the character basically growing like basically building one character from the ground up. Like this character is
Uh-huh.
actually making like real life decisions. Like, yo, he was forced to do this, but the Black Lightning tried to save this kid as Black Lightning, but it didn't work. And then next thing you know, like, man, yo, I can't save everything with my superpowers. I gotta save it being the principal. I got to save it being me,
Hmm.
influence, like making it being that example. So like, I would have loved to kind of see that rather than man, like this guy got shot by the police, and like we just get that all the time. Like, give me a inspirational story rather than always leaning on my pain. My pain is the police brutality. The pain is me not being able to get that certain job because I look the way I look. Like I'm tired of seeing that. So I want to see that inspirational, that inspirational stuff. There's something that kind of like get me out of bed. Like, man, that just like changed my view on things. Where it's like, man, like I'm a better person now. And we always get those type of stories in manga. They always bring out that type of stuff, man. And
True. Very
it
true.
just happened not to be black. But yeah, I ain't gonna. I probably done killed my whole career, man. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. This should have been an anonymous
Uh,
call. Dang.
I'll just beep out the name
Yeah. That might work a lot better for me, man.
oh
Mm-mm.
man. But yeah, like my boy Uncle Jackson in one of our previous episodes, why is pain the main seller point for my attention, my dollar, my purchase? When it
Yeah,
comes to these things, and it just becomes the only selling point. I think we got a problem with. I think it becomes a problem when it's the only perspective, it's the only seller point, it's the only draw to all of your books involving that. Like we just want something similar to Tenant. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like in that regard, we just want a really cool, inspirational, kick butt story and adventure, and it just so happens that the main character is black, and it never becomes a problem or issue, or it might even become a little bit of a problem or issue, but it's not the main conflict. It's not the main stone in his way or his or her way in the story, you know. And I think, like
exactly.
you said, we need a little bit more of that, spice up the variety over just this black suffering storyline, because it just gets old, and it just gets to the point where it does more harm than good if that's the only thing you think that we can achieve and talk about, and it's the only
Dang, yep.
appeal, you know. I just, especially
Yeah.
with the year that we're having, I think it definitely needs to change in 2021 going forward, for sure, man, for sure. And speaking of our careers, I'm gonna just, yeah, there is great work out there in the indie scene. We have from Godhood Comics, Tyler Martin's The Antagonist, which looks really
Oh
interesting.
yeah, man.
Yes,
I
you seen
cannot
it?
wait for that. Oh, oh my gosh, yeah, I seen it, man. I was like, I need everything you got. I need, like,
Yeah,
that's the stuff I'm talking about. Exactly. I can't
right.
wait for that.
Yeah,
Mm.
I'm gonna back that thing soon, man. I want 3 physical copies of like 1, 2, and 3, man. I mean, a black supervillain family fighting a patriarchal, you know, Justice League kind of parody, and then they're trying to come out on top. It's kind of like a flip side of The Incredibles with a little bit of a
Yeah,
black experience. But they do it. The character designs are so cool. They're bloody. They're kicking butt, and they're trying to find a way to come on top and not have I guess their villain history ruin their lives now. And that thing looks so dope, dude. Like stuff like
I
that.
can't wait, man.
Yeah. I mean, we have TJ Sterling's, I hope I'm saying it right, Okamis is
Hmm.
like a Super Sentai Power Ranger kind of thing with some black characters. We have like Gia Gumbo, which has like some really cool like voodoo noir kind of really colorful character designs. And I'm not seeing these kind of wonderful work, I'm not seeing these titles being supported and celebrated in certain circles. I'll be honest with you. I'm
Yeah, I mean,
seeing.
just that long list of just different genres that we missing, not genres, but comic book series that we missing. I know
Mm,
Tyrone Jackson. That's one guy. He's like he just literally has his own universe.
mm,
Like one of my favorite series that he got is like Triple High. And or Cyber Team. Like this guy, he has like 4 or 5 different series, and they all connect, and they have nothing to do with just talking about again like the slavery part or the racism part and this and that. Like if that stuff is in there, you wouldn't really know unless you like, of course, like read deeper. But at the same time, it's like no, that's not the main focus. So that's
right.
how I really love like his comics, like how he writes, like his style and stuff like that. That's why I support stuff like that, or the stuff like the antagonist. Like those are stuff that needs to like really become the mainstream, so they can see more of the side of what we're about.
Yeah,
There's a lot
man.
more to us, even though an antagonist isn't a good view on us, but at the same time, it's good storytelling.
Yes, it's good storytelling.
Yeah,
It's a different perspective. Screw it. It works. It matches. I
yeah,
mean, so I mean, within these circles, and I get it. It's cool. They've made a culture where pretty much if you've invested in any black character in a comic book in your whole life, 2020 was the year that you had to come up because we
Yeah.
had this, this sort of black renaissance where black books, particularly black comic book, just black anything was selling, right? It was a lot of stuff was selling this year in terms of Black Lives Matter and black art, black comic books, etc. So all those characters who were nobodies essentially a year ago became somebody, and there was these increased spike demand. So it kind of created a culture of like, see, I invested in these characters, and now I have, sometimes two, three, or four times my value worth for now of these characters. And so I dug into this a little bit. It was kind of cool when Bloodsport got announced for the Suicide Squad movie. I went in through the back bins and I found his first appearance, and I bought it for $4, and the thing is worth 20. That's kind of fun. But it gets to the point where every single black character appearance from the big mainstream gets your money automatically, to the point where, like, I know there's some Afro Queen character in the new Red
Ebon, I
Hood,
think is the name.
Ebon, yeah, and it's like, I guess she looks cool, whatever, Ebon. I'm not sure about it, but everyone's saying go buy it because she's on the cover and this is her first appearance, or whatever, and it's like, or the Vulture's daughter now got retconned to be, because of the movie, she's now black and she was on the cover of Miles Morales comic series. It's like, okay, go buy that one because, so when it comes to the point where it's just like you buying every single black character appearance or cameo in the big two, yet you don't highlight any of this wonderful indie work that's coming up. When you promote a culture of just buy this, buy this, buy this, and we want black art, we want black perspective, and yet you're kind of ignoring it from the source to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're kind of ignoring it from the source, black owned, black created, and you're going in through an alternate route. I wish some of that culture would be transferred over to something like the antagonist, where everyone
Yeah.
was like, yo, I just backed the antagonist. Did you guys see this? No, I never
Yeah.
heard of it. Dude, look at the Kickstarter. Check, this looks phenomenal. Back this book. I don't see that same energy compared to like something like The Other Side of History with Black Lightning, or that new Red Hood book. Who none of us buy Red Hood. No one, that's for edgelords, man. Like, and I like Red Hood, but I'm not buying
Yeah.
no Red Hood book because of Ebon. I'll buy it because Red Hood. Like, I'm not, but to each its own. So I just wish.
If we showed that same type of energy when those things had just got started, like the whole Iman thing, like if we bought it, like, what I'm saying, like we willing to pay about $300, $400 for this one book, where back then that book only cost like, $1, $2. This your pocket change. But we refuse, like people refuse to buy it. But now I feel like it's more about money. It's more about money, not the support, but they can buy that book and sell it for a higher price. Which again, it's nothing wrong with that. They do what they want to do. But if people complain about not having diversity in comics, this is one of the reasons, because we could have supported Milestone Comics. We could have bought every single book back then when they first came out and gave it a try. But we didn't. Now that it's showing up in TV and it's being backed by DC, now we're paying attention to it. Like it don't work like that if you want actual results in keeping stuff like that alive. You got to back it when it's at the beginning. We can't wait for it to die off, then get picked up by get that DC or Marvel something stamp on it, and then we start picking it up because we feel like it's gonna be the next big thing. I feel like we just got to change that attitude, man, and really start supporting one another and stop ignoring like this great talent, man. Like I get a little upset sometimes every time I feel like this one book died because it didn't get no recognition, but it was an amazing book.
Yeah.
Tyrone Jackson, his stuff is amazing. I'm like, why isn't it out there yet? Like this guy been around for years. Like he has so much talent, and this is not out there yet. Man, bro, I don't want to raise my voice, and get and get a little. But man, all right.
Alright.
But I'm gonna try to calm down. But anyways, stuff like that, man. I strongly suggest that we change our ways and start supporting these amazing books that's just starting out. And the thing is, Marvel and DC, they reached their peak. Be honest, kind of just throw it out there. They reached their peak, but these
Definitely.
young artists and writers, they just getting started. You know what I'm saying? Like they on issue 1, issue 2. We haven't even seen what issue 20 is about. As you can see in
Mhm.
manga, their art is kind of, I ain't even gonna say trash, but they're not the best, right? In chapter 1. But you go to chapter 100, chapter 50, like bruh, their art is the best you ever seen. It's growth. It's growth there. These independent writers and independent artists, they got room to grow. We give them feedback. If you just comment on their posts or send them a private message like, hey man, I found this mistake there, or hey, it was kind of confusing there. Like man, they take that in and they grow with it. Like with my issue, man, issue 1, I'm not saying I'm ashamed of it, but it wasn't my best work. I'm looking at issue 12 or I'm looking at my later issues now, and man, it's like I'm a completely different person. And I
Right.
see that in a lot of other issues, man. Farmhand, that's one of them. Even though he started off correct, but at the same time, I still see growth in that young creator's series, Farmhand. I don't know if you ever heard of that about that, but it's a great series. Stuff like that, man. We just need more support, and we need to do it fast before these guys run out of money or before they give up and stuff like that. Because people got feelings. I
Yeah,
know
they do.
they've been
Yeah.
around. Yeah, a lot of these people been around for the longest time, man. And some people dropped off because they just think it's not good, even though their stuff is good, but nobody really just pay attention to them. But before they drop off, man, we definitely need to show some support, man. Not because they're black, not because they're a woman, because they actually got good work. Don't if you
Yeah.
don't like their work, be be honest about it. Like, hey, the reason I'm not picking up this book because of this. Let them know so they can grow.
Mhm.
That's the least you can do. But if their stuff is not good, I'm not telling you you gotta feel obligated to support it. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying if it's good, if it looks good, give it a try.
Right.
It's not gonna hurt nobody. They literally selling that thing for $5 or less. You know, anybody got $5.
And
It
here's
goes a long way.
it
Go ahead.
does. And here's the thing about quality control, like these books are being bought because of first appearance and specs. Quality is not even in question of that. You know what I'm saying? Like you were literally buying this book in the hopes that this character will blow up, either for bragging rights or for profit, or just be like, or even the sense of like, yeah, I support, but you're not even concerned about the quality of the book if the book is actually good. I saw this energy being thrown towards this Batgirl issue. It was like Batgirl number 50. And it featured the first appearance of the new black Batwoman on TV. They literally threw her in this book because she is going to be in the TV show. And I saw this energy being thrown out there to say, buy this book, buy this book. And the book is it is this Batgirl issue is trash. it's not
Dang.
reviewed
Wow.
well. It's not good, but just because it had this appearance on it, it was just like you got to get this because the new Batgirl is going to be from this is the first comic appearance of the new Batgirl that's going to be Batwoman. I'm sorry, the first appearance of this new Batwoman from the TV show in comic book
Oh, I
form
see what
in
you
this
did.
Batgirl comic book, and it was just like that same energy, like you said, could be thrown towards some of these indie guys, and I think it would do a lot more good than harm rather than supporting the other side, man. And I think growth, given something, there seems to be like a double, also a higher standard of like, if I'm not blown away by your first issue,
Yeah.
like you're trash, you're done,
Yeah. You're
you're
done.
done,
That's it.
that's it,
Get out of
you're
here.
dead, you're dead. But I'm willing to give. Marvel and DC, a whole 2 graphic novels before the story gets good again.
Exactly. Like, man, like I was offended in this one. I hated this one. The art was trash in this one. Like, you know, went through 50 comics, 100 comics, and you still like, I'm gonna try again next week. Like, right, we make one grammar mistake, and that's it. That's it for us.
So unprofessional.
I hate it. Like, man, it's just weird, man, because I seen somebody come up to my table with a thing that was encased. You know how they be encased with the 9.8 up there, and they was
Yeah.
basically for like I think it was like $250, and they and said, "Hey, man, these look amazing." Like, he was complimenting me, like, how much they cost. I was like, "Yeah, they're $5." And he was like, "Oh man, can I get some type of deal?" Or I was like, I was really about to give him a deal, but my boy that was beside me, he was like, "Hey, bro, don't drop your price. Like, stay with your prices. You know, you
Right.
deserve those prices." Like, basically, he had to bring me back the reality
Mm-hmm.
that this guy had a $250 thing that he wasn't even going to open up. He told us he wasn't even going to open it up. He wanted to put it on his wall, but he wasn't even going to read it. But he couldn't pay $5 for the book that I had that it seems like he really liked. So he left my table. He didn't buy anything. But again, we have stuff like that. And say I even dropped my prices, right? I heard this last week. I said, like, maybe I should just drop my price. I was just really about to give in because again I've been going through some tough patches, man. Even though I have more good stories than bad, but those bad stories just really stands out. I don't really have too many bad stories, but when I have a bad story, it's tough. But the guy basically told me that I was about to give in and drop my prices, and I know that I would make nothing. Like, I was about to just sell it for what it took to print it, and that would
Right.
give me nothing, no type of return back, so I can do reprints or get the next story written and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
the guy told me, like, man, you can't even do that because if I see that the price dropped, then that means that the book sucks. I'm like, dang, there's no way of getting out of it. I'm like, yeah.
Oh
So if you drop
man.
your price that a couple of dollars, then that means your book's not selling and it sucks, and I'm not gonna buy it. I'm like, well, are you gonna buy it if it's $5? I'm like, no, because the book is too high. I'm like, God dang it, I can't win. Oh man, so
Oh
stuff
man.
like that, man. I can't win. So I
Yeah, man. It's one of those
got
just
a
stick
story
to
like
your
that for
guns,
days, man.
bro. That's a good
Yeah,
story,
so
man.
so it's
That's a
stuff
good
like
story.
that, man. I mean, I even got the door closed in my face. Walked into a comic book shop. He saw that I had books in my hand, and he didn't. I didn't speak to him or saying. I just walked in the shop. He saw I had books in my hand. I looked him dead in his eye, and all he did was shake his head, put his hand up, to basically wave it on, like, "No, I'm good." And I just walked right back out. I didn't even finish closing the door behind me,
Hmm.
and I basically had to walk right back out. So it's stuff like that, man. Again, it's rough, man. But
Yeah.
to all the independent creators, man, if you know your book is good, keep going. Like,
Yes.
don't pay
Yes.
attention to all that. Keep going.
Don't
Like, I
give
don't
up.
care who you are. I don't care what you look like. If you love your book, I'm pretty sure somebody else will love it too. I'm pretty sure we would probably love it too. Like, and if not, then we'll, what I'm saying. I'll let you know if you want my opinion, so you can get better, and we'll go from there. We can grow off this thing. I know everybody has potential. If they love doing something and they passionate about doing, I know they wouldn't mind growing and to become that bestseller. So all the creators, man, y'all do y'all thing, please. Do y'all thing. I know how it looks. If you listen to this whole podcast up to now, that's why it's not selling. If that's the case, it's because we got to change our perspective. We got to change our word for it. But you know what I mean.
Right, right. Look, we gotta
So,
uplift each other. We gotta support each other. We gotta look after each other's back, and we can definitely carve ourselves a bigger pie out of this whole thing, man, so that we all can eat a little bit more. And even if just to see more of us make it there, be like, yes. such and such, like I'm rooting, and like an honest, like there's a level of there's like such a level of like feeling where you actually get your physical copy of your book, made,
Yeah,
to see something from a thought of your mind to become reality. There's power to that. You're making art
yeah, hit
real,
different.
dude, and it's inspiration. It's we all got to inspire each other and to get to this next level and fight the good fight. And at the very least, even if your book, you don't make it to diamond distribution or whatever, you have some pride in the sense that I know I have some quality work. I know I have some work done. And you know that anyone can look at your catalog or look at what you've done and say, damn, they know what the hell they were doing. Like, damn, they had some good stuff. You know what I'm saying? There's
Yeah.
definitely pride in that. For all our listeners out there, Vonnell, why don't you let them know where they can find you and find your material, man?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. So millennialcomic.com. You can find all of our books, posters, or just any new issue that comes out, man. And also follow us on our social media. Just follow millennialcomic.com. You just type that in on any platform, you'll find us, Millennial Comic. So we here, man. Delta Dogs, type it in, we'll pop right up, man. We here.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. And Vonnell, it was awesome having you on behind the scene. Looking forward to more issues. I'm gonna catch up. Every time I go to the shop, I pick up another issue. I'm looking forward to seeing
Yeah.
you continue your journey in this comic book arena, man. And I'm rooting for you. And I think we're all gonna be very surprised and pleased to see you continue the story of the Delta Dogs continuing forth, man.
Appreciate you, man. And we got you back too, man. That Florida man gonna get red.
Oh man, I'm excited to get some people laughing and some honest feedback and to keep it funny and entertaining as possible, man. With that, folks, that ends our episode tonight. Appreciate y'all for listening, and we're out.
Peace.